Have you seen this video yet? Canadian police are acting as Uber Eats for anti-Western, anti-Israel protesters who have been going around specifically blocking roads in predominantly Jewish neighborhoods of Toronto in an act that's obviously meant to intimidate and harass for supposedly pro-Palestinian reasons.
They left. No one told them they can't come back. Otherwise, he would have said, "Okay, I understand."
Okay, I'll just ask just
I understand.
just so. Sorry, it's the person with the vest.
Jihad. Yeah, I know the guy. No, the guy with the yellow vest on walking.
How did you get coffee from the police?
Well, not the police. Someone has brought it for us, but the police won't let them in. So the police are now becoming our little messengers between us. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. We're on the bridge. They're not letting anyone else come on, which makes no sense. Because if we're already on the bridge, how is there public safety?
Now, I just want to quickly plug Karima Saeed, who her and her cameraman have been doing a great job just neutrally going around and filming these protests. But just look at even the glee on that man's face as he proudly says that the police are acting as our delivery men or our go-betweens. And he's supposedly also very upset that the police will not let more people into their illegal protest. And before anyone tries to jump all over me and say, well, the Freedom Convoy did the same thing. Well, if you were okay with the Freedom Convoy doing this, well, how can't you be okay with this? Well, these people are specifically targeting residential neighborhoods of Toronto. And what are they really protesting against? Israel fighting back against terrorism halfway across the world. These people are not protesting against any illegal actions of the Canadian government in terms of vaccine mandates and lockdowns in Canada. They're protesting in favor of basically Hamas terrorists getting to get away with killing 1,400 Jewish people on October 7th and calling for a ceasefire, which only ever seems to actually be called for whenever Israel starts firing back at people launching rockets into their country. These people are fundamentally anti-Canadian. It's not just that they want to stand up against the genocide that the Israeli state is committing. They specifically are against all of the democratic principles that Israel also happens to represent in the Middle East. And the clips get even more absurd when one of these protesters on this bridge in this Jewish neighborhood specifically starts complaining to the police officers that they will not let him go away to the bathroom and then come back and keep blocking this bridge illegally, and that he wants them to bring him porta potties directly to the bridge so that he doesn't have his rights violated to not be able, like, I guess it's a right of his in his mind to be able to sit on the bridge, take a dump, and then keep protesting afterwards.
Okay.
So, do you have a washer inside the bus?
No, it's a bus.
Can you provide us with a portable washer instead? It's a human right. I need to go to pee.
Okay, you can go. It's your decision to be
No, I'm
there.
not gonna you. I don't want to stay here.
You can stay here.
Those are the decisions you make.
Who made a decision that we cannot come back?
If you need,
I don't want to go. This is where I want to go.
This is his
Okay,
right.
you
He
can
can
stay.
be
But
here.
I want to
It's
go
his right to
pee
use the washroom too.
okay, then
because I have diabetes.
okay.
So, do you give me a ticket if I go to the bushes and relieve myself?
Cannot go outside. Right?
Are you gonna give me a ticket
There's
if I
children.
relieve myself by the trees?
Will I give you a ticket for using the bathroom outside where you should not?
He'll try to hide himself in the bushes.
That's something that I'm gonna be charged for what?
You don't need to see that anymore, but these individual men are trying to take advantage of the weakness of local governments in Canada. It's not the police's fault. I guarantee the police would want to break up this illegal protest as quickly as possible, but you get people like Mayor Olivia Chow in the city of Toronto who just has no opinion when it comes to these people deliberately going after Jewish neighborhoods. These are the same people who are protesting against Jewish-owned businesses, whether they have an opinion on Middle Eastern politics or not. And while they try and act very moderate, especially when there's cameras around like Karima's, they still take part in intifada chants, in from the river to the sea chants. These people are not moderates. And you can just tell that they're not exactly, these people aren't standing up for peace and human rights, because at the end of the day, it's more so that they just are protesting in order to sort of intimidate and prove that they have sharp elbows and that they can get what they want. This is the best example of this, is how they ended up trying to ruin Mayor Olivia Chow, who's so pathetic she just pretended it never happened. They tried to ruin her sort of public skating event at Nathan Phillips Square, where these pro-Palestinian, quote unquote, really they're just Hamas apologists. These protesters walk onto the ice, start blocking people, screeching people's faces with with amplifiers and everything like that. Just nasty human beings, specifically trying to be as nasty as human possible. They know that they're not getting anyone on board with their actual ideas by doing this. They're doing this as an intimidation tactic and should be charged. Again, nothing like this ever actually happened at the Freedom Convoy. You can say that, well, trucks were parked illegally. Yes, they were. But they were doing that illegally, knowing it was illegal, in opposition to laws that were against the Charter of Canada. What are these people doing? Standing up for the rights of terrorists not to die after they murder civilians?
Scheduled my time to be here.
Why you guys
I
are
work like 7 days a week.
That's just wrong and disrespectful.
I don't understand it.
So you violating other people and talking about
I don't get it. Does that mean that they need to be
What's
out
up with
here?
the
You know
rights of
what I'm
these
saying?
people? What happened to the rights of all these people who come here to skate and pay the money?
Answer many of your questions.
We will
Answer many of your questions. You never answer anything about the refugees, Palestinian refugees that you know that can't go back. But the Jews born here can. And that's the product of Zionism, the way of return. So when you say, what, you don't like Zionism, you don't like that doesn't, just because I say Palestinians...
Is that why you're protesting? Because you can't go back to Palestine? Why is this happening? Why is this happening?
The first thing you said is, oh, stop this hateful rhetoric. Hateful rhetoric from Hamas. Come on. A military occupation, even...
Fundamentally, this is not about getting their message out there and getting people on board. This is about specifically trying to ruin your day to prove that they are more powerful than the Canadian state that refuses to stand up to their pro-terror nonsense. And again, they can say all day long, well, we're looking for a ceasefire. We don't want people to die. They are standing up for a terrorist group that uses people as human shields and only ever screams for a ceasefire as soon as Israel starts defending itself. This is why when there was a ceasefire agreement made for a few weeks, or a couple weeks, as soon as Hamas started firing, these people didn't start protesting about how Hamas needs to honor the ceasefire agreement. They just only went back to calling for a ceasefire as soon as Israel fired back, as they should.
Don't touch me. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. You touch me. Don't touch me. Don't, you literally touch me. Back the fuck away. Are you assaulting people? Back the fuck away. Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
I just wanted that last bit to be in there. There's literally an older couple trying to skate at this public event, and the woman even says, we are pro-Palestine, and these people don't care. They are specifically there to actually stump against the West. And any politician who acts like this is some sort of act of freedom and peace is a complete dunce. This, I would be lumping in people like Nikki Ashton, the NDP MP from Manitoba, the MLA from Edmonton in Alberta, Janice Irwin, who basically has never said a single word against Hamas, yet goes to all these pro-Palestine protests and retweets and likes things that say from the river to the sea. These people are radicals who hate their own country, and these people who are doing these protests should be arrested, charged, and put away in prison for having wasted everyone's time protesting something that doesn't even have anything to do with Canada, and in which place they don't even have a legal argument to justify why somehow interrupting people's day is worthwhile in order to advocate for whatever stupid garbage they're advocating for. Anyways, that's not quite it for me. I just do want to quickly say that this is why we need to have like police chiefs empowered in this country to actually take action when it's needed. This is why conservatives need to get more involved in municipal politics. As much as I would like to say that, well, not like to say, but as much as it would be easy to say that this is Justin Trudeau's fault, it's partially his fault. This is actually mostly the fault of mayors like Olivia Chow and Jody Gondek. When they don't allow the police to do their jobs, you will get more of this. And frankly, they're so progressive, they're never going to stop it, because it doesn't matter how much they interrupt and ruin the days of their own constituents. The thing is, they believe in the progressive message, the anti-Western message, more than they actually care about their own citizens. Okay, anyways, that should actually be it for me today. So if you want to donate to my legal fund, the link is in the description below. I'm $25,000 deep into defending myself from a billionaire who is suing for completely frivolous reasons, basically saying that we had defamed him even though we had based an entire article that briefly mentioned him, that section, on a Globe and Mail article about him. And he's just trying to exploit the legal system into shutting anyone up who mentions him, who he thinks he can intimidate into giving him fake apologies so he can pretend that his background and record isn't what it actually is. Also, I'm running for the Calgary Signal Hill Conservative Party nomination. So if you live in Calgary Signal Hill or around the city of Calgary and you want to help out, check out my website in the description below, buy a membership for the Conservative Party, and vote for me #1 on your ballot once the nomination date is called and we know when we're going to be actually voting. So far, the nomination hasn't been called because I believe that we're waiting for the new official boundaries for the riding to be made, which I think we're removing Bowness and Greenbrier. But that's just a bit down a nomination rabbit hole, which I will not go into right now. So other than that, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll be back with another video sometime soon.